Hi, I'm Sam, and I'm legally cleared to be here.
And I'm Dylan. We're here at Blue Highway Games in Seattle, Washington to present a Planeswalker's Primer from Multikicker.
Worldwake is the second set in the Zendikar block. Zendikar featured a bunch of cards with Kicker, which is an incredibly useful and popular keyword ability. We did a video about it, and it's probably on the same webpage as this one.
And the Worldwake set is going to take this ability and kick it up a notch with Multikicker cards. But first, let's refresh everyone's memory by looking at a Kicker card.
This is the Zendikar card, Core Sanctifiers. Its Kicker ability has an additional cost you can choose to pay as you cast it. If you do, its other ability gives you a bonus when it enters the battlefield.
Core Sanctifiers is like a creature with an optional extra spell tacked onto it.
That's right. And a great thing about Kicker is that it appears on lots of different card types. Creatures, sorceries, instants, and even enchantments have had Kicker.
Now, as you cast a spell with normal Kicker, you can kick it. That is, you can choose to pay its Kicker cost, just once. But as you cast a spell with Multikicker, you can kick it as many times as you want.
This is Husk Ritualist. Its Multikicker ability has an additional cost you can choose to pay as many times as you want, including none at all. You make this choice as you cast Husk Ritualist. Then, when it enters the battlefield, its other ability provides a bonus based on how many times you kicked it.
Husk Ritualist bonus involves making my opponent discard cards. But as with regular Kicker, the bonuses are different on each card.
So I can ignore Husk Ritualist Multikicker ability entirely and just cast it as a 2/2 creature for 3 mana.
Well, that's not so bad. But now cast it and kick it.
Sure. Alright, check it out. So this time, I'll kick Husk Ritualist once. When it enters the battlefield, its ability triggers. This is the point when I have to choose a target for the ability. Like Dylan. Now, since the Ritualist was kicked once, its ability makes you discard 1 card.
Yep. Now, try kicking it again a few times.
Okay. Grab this. I'll kick Husk Ritualist 4 times as I cast it. Its Multikicker cost is 1 black mana, so that's a total of 7 mana. 3 for its mana cost, plus 4 more for its Kicker cost. When it enters the battlefield, I'll target you again, and you discard 4 cards.
That is fantastically brutal, and if this was a real game and not a videotaped demo, I'd be exploding in profanity-laced rage about now.
He once set my couch on fire.
Good times.
Anyway, let's take a look at other ways Multikicker can be used.
Yeah.
Apex Hawks enters the battlefield with a number of +1/+1 counters on it equal to the number of times it was kicked. So the more times I kick it as I cast it, the bigger it'll be. Comet Storm deals X damage to a single target, but if I kick it once, it'll deal another X damage to a different target, and if I kick it 3 times, I'll choose a total of 4 targets, and Comet Storm will deal X damage to each of them.
Multikicker is a variant on the Kicker ability. Except for being able to do it multiple times, it's going to follow all the same rules as Kicker.
So you decide whether or not to kick a spell as you cast it. You announce whether you're kicking it, and if so, how many times you're kicking it right at the beginning, so you can determine how much mana you're spending to cast it. In Comet Storm's case, how many times you kick it also determines how many targets it has.
And kicking the spell doesn't change that spell's mana cost or its converted mana cost. Those are always based on the mana symbols in the upper right corner, and nothing else.
However, if a spell like Rise from the Grave, or an ability like one Elvish Piper has, lets you put a creature with Kicker directly onto the battlefield, you don't get a chance to kick it. That's because you never cast it as a spell.
Moving on, this is the Worldwake enchantment Rumbling Aftershocks. It has an ability that triggers whenever you cast a kicked spell, and then deals damage to something based on the number of times it was kicked. I cast Husk Ritualist and kick it 3 times. The Rumbling Aftershocks ability triggers because I cast a kicked spell. I'll target you, so you take 3 damage. Then the Ritualist enters the battlefield, and I'll have you discard 3 cards.
Does the enchantment work only with Multikicker, he asked, pretending not to know the answer?
Well, no, and that's the point. Multikicker is just a form of Kicker. A Multikicker cost is a Kicker cost, and if you choose to pay a Kicker cost as you cast a spell, that spell has been kicked. So, when I cast a Kicked Core Sanctifiers, Rumbling Aftershocks ability triggers again, even though the Sanctifiers can only be kicked once. That's another 1 damage aimed at your face, and the Sanctifier blows up the Platinum Angel.
Oh, come on, man. Now, some cards from back in the day had more than 1 kicker cost. Take a look at Thornscape Battle Mage. Illuminate. And Degevolver.
If I cast Degevolver and kick it twice, Rumbling Aftershocks ability triggers again. Since my spell was kicked twice, Rumbling Aftershock deals 2 damage to you. Then, I get a 4/4 First Striking Regenerator. Pretty sweet.
Okay, that was awesome. But I'll stick to the multi-kicker cards for now. As long as you've got the mana, there's really no limit to how many times you can kick them.
No, there isn't. But there is a limit to how many times you can set someone's couch on fire. And that number is 1. You still owe me a couch.
We'll see you next time.